money, new bands, new hundreds.
Yo, Kyle, this shit crazy.
Friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends. Whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends, whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Yeah, my day ones know I post up, so just come through. If you say nothing, you glow up, she can come too. Can't say nothing when he choked up, so just cut him loose. We stay calm when we froze up, that's what diamonds do. Yeah, new island, stay coasting. Can't find it, stay ghosting. My silence is smoking, outshining the ghosting. Headlining the show then, reclining my throne and fine dining, you know it. Deep diving that, whoa, I'm the ruler, I'm known. All of my shooters stay closed, all of my jewelry cold, all of my Ubers are dope. Lex Luthor, my role model, one queen and I throw models. So wet that I need goggles, all business and no drama. Hell nah, the new friends, they praying for my downfall. Hell nah, the new friends. Said hell nah, the new friends. Whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends. Whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends. Whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kinda new hundreds. Hell nah to new friends. Whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kind of new hundreds. Said what you want, let me know, I'ma throw you bone, then watch you go. You didn't even believe in this shit, you tried it once and then you choke. Cause y'all stay sleeping, I stay woke. Making racks and y'all still broke. Sipping on that Henny Coke, y'all laughing, I ain't telling jokes. That's real talk and that time that's ticking, that's real clock. You heard that clipping, that's real Glock. Your life is slipping, that's real shock. My wrist is dripping, that's real watch. My crew stay whipping, that's real mock. My clothes stay dripping, that's real swatch. If you ain't gonna dip, you can still watch, that's real talk, my nigga, Like Afro Man wrote a Coupe de Ville, my nigga, Like Sam Crow, but I'm real grim, my nigga, All this cash flow, but I can't swim, my nigga, Out in Buffalo, let's meet at 10s, my nigga, lot of new bands, all kind of new hundreds, hell not a new friends. Whole lot of new money, whole lot of new bands, all kind of new hundreds, hell not a new friends. Praying for my downfall, waiting for my downfall. Hell not a new friends, they praying for my downfall. Hell not a new friends. Said hell not a new friends.
Check, 1, 2, ayy, check. I don't know if I can rap this shit. Yeah, ayy, yeah. Look at my wrist, yeah, it's poppin'. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I took the phone that they sat in. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing all black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stopped checking the facts, so I just stopped treating them nice. I see you looking, I see you watching. Wasn't too long ago, we was just talking. I'm sorry you hate me now, and I don't mean that I'm sorry for me. I'm just sorry for you, cause you won't get to see what a hot king can do when he's given the chance to become what he knew he could. Not much just popping, oh, and I'm shocking. I'm just from Buffalo, I shouldn't make it. Was right by my auntie, but that woman hated me. Good at pretending for everyone faking it. Now I'm awake and I see why they made the choice to kick me out just as soon as I made the choice. Now I'm a king, yeah, that's the thing. Happens a lot. Fatherless kids, yeah, we come by the lot. Changing shit whether you like it or not. He would come like it or not. Look Look at my wrist, yeah, it's popping. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just don't let they satin. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing all black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stop checking the facts, so I just stop treating them nice. Fuck the whole industry, music and media. Started my own shit. I don't think they feeling me. I just don't get it, so fuck it. I'm done with all this luck shit. Y'all think y'all scaring me, so I address it. But now all your niggas is running. All of your monsters just running. No talent, but your shit is funded. Now all y'all think y'all real funny. Clown flexing with that fake money. Can't buy shit without real shit, so you rent shit cause you real dummy. Just invest in mine like a broker. New money coming soon. Yo, last post got like 50,000, but you can't fill the fucking room. Look at my wrist, yeah, it's popping. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just don't let they satin. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing all black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stop checking the facts, so I just stop treating them nice.
He's heating up!
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Swole Armouth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, 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 testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 3311 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gangcast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and Slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busses, hustlers, and yahos? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. In today's episode of the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2, flexing on all you bees.
The fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Welcome to the show. Let's jump right into it. Friday, May the 30th, and we are going to get right into some Swole Fam posts and take some questions, go balls deep. We are live on Rumble and YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and share it with your friends. You can watch and comment on Spotify and check us out on Apple Podcasts, anywhere you bang your ear holes. Hopefully you went to the fucking gym today. And without further ado, let's get into the first Swole Fam posts, and we'll get into a couple
What's in the box?
Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. First one we're going to take today is from Abby. And Abby says, really enjoyed the discussion on the May 28th episode, 3309, about teaching children not only fitness, but life skills as well. Great ideas like unlimited reading, meat and fruit, nutrition. My kids love this, and not revolving our lives around their boredom. I find this very interesting as a mom of 4 under age 6. Yeah, simplify life. You can raise your children how you see fit. Teach them to be autonomous. Teach them how to be adults. Teach them how to live life, and give them the best one that you can. And I like this a lot. We discussed it. This is what I believe in. I believe kids should be able to read, learn how to learn to love learning. It's just unfortunate that school, and when we say school, we mean the indoctrination system. I went through it. It teaches kids to hate reading because you're always reading boring, dumb shit. It's boring. There's so much excitement in the world of books. There's so much excitement and knowledge. And you should teach children to be ravenous in terms of being curious and gathering information and thinking about things, critically thinking. Teach them how to learn and how to learn new things, because that's what life is about. It's about learning new skills. And if you learn how to learn and you incentivize acquiring knowledge and acquiring information and being curious, they're going to be able to handle any situation. They're not going to be, how do I cook in a studio apartment? I don't have a kitchen. How do people cook in the woods? How do people use campers and RVs? And how does everyone else do it? I mean, it's just, if you know how to learn, you go and acquire information. You search. You understand the humility, and you don't have the ego of, I know everything, and it's something different than I normally do, so that's impossible. When you acquire new knowledge, when you acquire more information, you change as a person. So you have to be comfortable with changing and reframing what you think, not being overly cemented on, on a topic. Troy, my first Swole card, never stop gaining. Round of applause. Good stuff. Thanks for sharing the Swole card. Never stop gaining. That's a nice one. That's a nice one, Troy. I like it. All right, let's get into some more knowledge cock. Drop in the comments down below. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio if you have a question. Today I am rocking the Game of Gains Swoleopoly merch. We got 20% off everything over at papaswolio.com. And of course, today's a great day to join the Swole fam. Not only do we have all the programs that you're looking for, 90-Day Dash, Maximum Swole. We've been talking a lot about those programs this past week. You can go and check out earlier episodes like Monday and Tuesday. We talked a lot about Maximum Swole and training protocols and stuff. But we have tons of master classes. We're adding a bunch of new content to Maximum Swole that we've been talking about, revamping and re-updating some of the split sections. So definitely join the Swole fam. You get access to all the private live streams. Today we do have an overtime segment. We got throwback DWG. We got brand new Balls Deep edits. We'll get that into overtime. Learn more over at SwoleNormusX.com and join the fam today. First question on Instagram.
What's in the box?
Mar Darcy 13 on Instagram. Papa Swolio, I just started going to the fucking gym this week. Just starting the journey. Advice for newbies to not burn out / overdo. Well, good for you. Any advice to not burn out? Just be aware, just learn what that means, because you're going to do it. You're going to do it when you're training hard. When you're training hard, when you're pushing yourself, when you're learning, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to burn out. You're going to do something. Just expect areas of failure and learning, and then acquiring information, and then, apply that. It's like the first time you drink alcohol and you overdo it. You don't know what your limit is until you find out what your limit is, and no one likes the outcome. No one likes a hangover. No one likes to be puking their brains out. Most people have had that experience. It doesn't take a lot for some people. It's just you don't know what your limit is. Same thing with training. You don't know what too much is until you do too much. So I would say advice is learning proper form, proper nutrition, being consistent, and understanding that recovery is very important, but training hard is very important. And the harder that you train, the more recovery you need. And when that means is closer to your max, whether it's an 8 rep max or a 9 rep max, that's what 0 reps in reserve is. That's your max. Some people do 1 rep max. I don't like doing 1 rep max. I don't really even like doing 3 rep max. But 4 rep max, 5 rep max, 6 rep max, that's awesome. I love that. So that's what a max is. It's just the maximum that you can do for 4 reps, for 5 reps. So that's what people are doing. That's why it's intense. And when you're doing a 1 rep max, people think, wow, you're lifting so heavy, you're going to your absolute limit. That's what a 5 rep max is. You're going to your limit. And you're incurring fatigue along the way. So it's going to be less exhausting doing a 6 rep max than it is doing 15 rep max sets, because you're just doing so many more reps and building up so much more physiological exhaustion over the course of sets. So understand that when you're starting out, Cerny says you'll feel it if you're overdoing it. That's not entirely true, because when you're a beginner, everything feels like you're overdoing it. You feel sore. You've never felt sore before. Oh my God, is this how it's supposed to feel? Oh my God. So you have to underdo it. Do less than you think you need at the beginning. So if you're just starting going to the fucking gym and you're doing a strength training program, you need a really good program. The 90-day dash is great. I really recommend it, but you're asking on Instagram, doesn't sound like you're a member. So a quality strength training program that really, I don't want to say under delivers, but allows you to adapt to it, allows you to be consistent, because a lot of times people go to the gym, they overdo it that first day and they're really sore and they never get in the flow of things because they just do so much damage the first day because it's a novel stimulus. So you don't want to push close to failure when you first start lifting. You really want to get used to the form and the quality of the reps and the habit of going and building that consistency. The harder you train, the less you need. The harder you train, the less you need. And that's overall, that's in a sequence in terms of frequency. The harder you're going, the less you need in terms of the volume in a workout. And you have to be mindful of the recovery in just not just your system, but also local muscle recovery. And this is why you want to be consistent with your exercises, consistent with which ones you're choosing, and then overloading them over time. It takes time. There's a lot of neural adaptations when you're doing a new exercise. When you're not used to the movement, you're getting neural adaptations. Getting stronger doesn't always mean muscle building. It can just be the coordination as your body gets used to the movement. And then after, you're doing this for several weeks, you start building more muscle over time with progressive overload. But at the beginning, there's a lot of neural adaptations that your body can take some time to go through if it's a new exercise. So learning and building consistency and making sure that you don't overdo it. Do less than you think. But again, a lot of trainers and a lot of programs out there don't really understand how much fatigue and how much damage and what a novel stimulus, if you're brand new to the gym. A lot of programs are over prescribing what to do. This is why the 90-day dash is so effective, is because it meets you where you are. It's challenging, but it's challenging in a different way that you're able to recover from. You're not doing hypertrophy training when you first start that program. Emma, what do you think of Mike Mensier? Do you mean Mensner? The bodybuilder? He's great. He's great. A lot of good information. A lot of good information. Squeegee says, I'm at work sitting next to a they, them. Hopefully you have this on your headphones, because I'm going to say it. I'm sitting next to a they, them, and a bunch of whiny liberals all day. Listening to these podcasts all day this past week has really helped me stay sane. It helps to mentally prepare myself. Well, I'm glad to hear it. Thank you.
Are there any women here today?
Glad to keep your head screwed on straight. Will says, or asks, Papa Swole, I've been barbell squatting with a plate under my heels. Should I be squatting flat-footed, or does it matter if I have a plate under my heels so I can go deeper in the squat? That's cool. Are you doing a 45? Are you doing 225s? You can use 210s. This is another reason why people like to use squat shoes with an elevated heel. It'll help you have a more quad-biased squat. If you don't have, a lot of people don't have the mobility to do a flat-footed squat and keep the back flat and drive the knees really far. You need a lot of ankle mobility and knee mobility on hip mobility. And you can still work on those, but if you don't have that, with your feet flat, elevate your heels. I would recommend that. It's just like how I would do pendulum squats. A lot of times I like my my heels coming up a little bit, so I wear squat shoes, or doing, Tom Platz's hack squat, my heels are coming up. So it's totally fine having your heels elevated, whether you're using plates or you're running up on your toes, because it'll allow your knees you just have to build up slowly. You don't want to overload that too soon before you build, because that takes a lot of tendon and ligament strength, reverse sled, and those types of things that we have are important, but you want to progress that slowly. So yeah, 45-pound metal plate under the heels. So those are thinner. Yeah, that's good. And then those are pretty wide, so you can do your toes out and elevated heel. If you feel comfortable, in other words, find a squat that you like, that you feel in your quads, you're keeping your back flat. And if you feel comfortable, with certain movements with barbell, maybe you put a little bit less on the bar as you're doing that, but it's really relative to the leverage and relative to the new angle you're doing. So don't worry about what weight you were squatting in the past with feet flat. When you change something like that, when you're now doing heels elevated, you have to reset all your weights because it's a different stress. Even a couple centimeters or a couple degrees is a big difference in stress for your body. So just don't try to do the same weight. You guys know what I'm saying? If you start doing squatting differently, if you try elevating your heels and your knees are going over your toes more, you got to drop the weight dramatically. Don't go as close to failure. Get used to that movement. And then progressively overload it. So it's going to be like any other exercise. Now that you're elevating your heels, if it feels good, find your weight, find your rep range, find your comfort zone in terms of training, and then push it. It's not as, yeah. Will says, I have a set of squat shoes, but it feels like it doesn't have the same effect as the plate. It doesn't. The plate's going to be higher than squat shoes. Squat shoes are not that tall. I don't know I don't know if there's a standard angle. I'm sure they all vary. I've had a pair of squat shoes for like 10, 15 years, and they look still brand new. I wear them on a couple different machines now and again when I feel like it. Sometimes I just feel like having that kind of stability because I like my heels coming up a little bit. And with the squat shoes, it just keeps a little bit more pressure and stability, and it doesn't have to lift as much. So it's kind of, sometimes I feel like it, sometimes I don't use them. So yeah, you could use two 25-pound plates or 145. Just find something that you like. Find a foot position. And this goes for everyone. Everyone's limbs are a little bit different. Not only are your muscles kind of different lengths, marginally different strengths, different insertion points, slightly, if we all cut open our knees, we'd have very slight deviations, different femur lengths and tibia lengths and mobility and upper torso length. So find a squat pattern that you like. And I'm still doing this. I still kind of fuck around and adjust. And sometimes my knee will, something will kind of tweak. So then I adjust something and I go back up to that weight and I feel great. I'm like, oh, I never squatted like this. This feels better. There's too much of an obsession in the past with corrective exercise, keeping your toes completely straight. It's like, that's not how people squat. And if you squat down on the ground, most people aren't going to keep your heels down. You're going to roll up on your toes and kind of that's like the Tom Platz's hack squat and just progressively overload it. So stop worrying, don't worry about the weight on the bar. Worry about what you need to provide that kind of stress. And then that weight will increase over time, no matter what it is. Even if you start with 10 pounds on each side, Tom Platz's hack squat, eventually you'll be 12 and a half on each side, or 15, or for whatever rep range. So just progressively overload whatever it is. Whatever it is. Okay. John, let's see. Papa Swole, I've been eating the same meals daily and have felt satisfied. Lately, the amount of food isn't enough. I'm ravenous level hungry. How has years of eating a certain amount suddenly not enough? That's a good question. Maybe you're not eating as much as you think. You're utilizing more energy. Maybe your body is telling you that you're missing certain micronutrients. Maybe you're lacking in one area. I don't know what you're eating or how much you're eating. It's time to pay a little bit more attention. Is there something that has subtly changed? Are you eating enough fat? Magnesium, electrolytes, water? Maybe you're not hungry. Maybe you're more thirsty than you think. Has your level of energy or output or training changed in the time period that you're noticing? A lot of times questions that you guys ask leads to more questions, but you know your life better than I do. So I'm trying to ask questions that way you can follow up. Charles says, I took the advice and expanded the garage gym. My dumbbells and cable attachments arrived yesterday. Also, my hack squat / leg press machine was delivered today with more plates. Oh, good for you.
Smooth. Very, very smooth stuff. Very classy. I'm learning a lot from you right now, dude.
Good stuff. Congratulations. Okay. Mark says, I upped my protein intake when I really started training hard, so now I know the perfect balance. So I would do that, John. I mean, honestly, I agree with that. I would up your protein. If you feel more hungry, I would increase your protein intake. And if you don't know how much you're eating, this is when I do recommend getting more analytical and quantitative. For most people, you can kind of take a bird's eye view and just, most people, like that's the way the message that I usually have is bird's eye view, make macro subtle changes that fit your lifestyle so you don't have to micromanage some of those details like body fat percentage, whatever. But if you're in a situation where everything is consistent and you need to know how much you're consuming and really get a little bit more analytical with it, that would be a good idea, John, just to kind of keep what you're doing and maybe just keep a more detailed log for the next week or so and see what you're actually eating. You might realize, oh shit, I really need to actually eat more. I thought I was eating more protein, so maybe get a little more analytical because data always helps. I just don't think by default people should be micro tracking their food. But it can be something that if you notice, why am I really hungry? Like, do I have a parasite? Do I have enough protein? Like, what's going on? You can start doing some homework on that. Nothing's going to be wrong with you getting in some more protein. I know you train hard and you train frequently. You've been really consistent. So maybe answer some of those questions and we can see what your responses are and maybe get a little deeper on it. Let's take another question.
What's in the box?
The Thomas Strong. Papa Swole, how can a tall, skinny guy bulk up fast? Well, how can a shorter guy bulk up fast? Fast is relative, and you don't want to do this fast. Let me tell you why. You don't want to bulk up fast. Why? Because if you're doing anything like that fast, you're just getting fat. You're not going to build muscle fast unless you're brand new to the gym, and fast is relative. Like fast in the gym, like, wow, you have newbie gains. Newbie gains is like, what do you guys think? Newbie gains first couple of years. Because the thing is, you first start training, and a lot of people don't really train optimally when they first start. So they kind of make some mistakes. They're doing whatever. Once you kind of hit your stride and you kind of start seeing those results and you get more involved after 6 months or a year or something, you really start taking it more seriously. Then you kind of get more of those newbie gains. A lot of people don't start off, most people don't start off doing things like optimally, because what is optimal? And that's the whole point of being a beginner. You have to go through those mistakes of doing either too much cardio or not eating enough protein or not lifting hard enough or doing too much volume. You're going to have to go through that, but it's not going to happen fast. If you're tall, you're going to have to put on more weight to look bigger. So let's say you're lean. Let's say you're a dude, you could see your abs. Let's say you're teens body fat, like, mid-teens body fat. For someone who's like 5'6", that weight for you, then like, oh, you're muscular in this for 5'6", what was that, like 160? I don't know. Something like that. If you're 6'2", that's probably going to be like 200 pounds. The same relative kind of framing, I would say. Maybe more. At 6'2", maybe 205 or 210. So again, you want to put on muscle, and that's not going to happen fast. If you want to get fat, if you're just skin and bones, you want to put on some more meat, I mean, you should be lifting weights. But if you can handle more body fat, then just eat more calories, but just don't eat garbage. And people don't realize that when you're eating ultra processed foods, you think you're getting certain and then you're taking vitamins and things like that. There's certain foods that actually a lot of vitamins, like synthetic vitamins, or even a lot of vitamins that don't have the right compound of what you're trying to consume. Because like vitamin C, there's many different forms of vitamin C and vitamin D and this type of stuff. You're taking a supplement and then you're eating foods that might inhibit or block the absorption. If you're eating a lot of like leafy greens and things like that, kale, there are things that are phytic acid and bread, the things that can bind to vitamins and minerals and inhibit the absorption, even if you're supplementing. So you really want to get your nutrition in order, eat a lot of protein, focus on getting into a caloric surplus and matching your metabolism and getting the habit of preparing that kind of food and eating quality and getting sleep. But also you want to lift weights. You don't want to bulk up and get fat. You want to build muscle. So you got to do strength training. All right, Boo Boo the Kid. Boo Boo the Kid on Instagram. Papa Swole, is it effective to do more workouts for different goals during the day? Example, cardio, yoga, weights, endurance. Is it effective to do more workouts for different goals during the day? Are you suggesting that you do a cardio workout, a yoga workout, a weights workout, and an endurance workout in the same day? You're working out 4 times a day? Is that what you're suggesting? This is on Instagram, so I don't know if that's what the suggestion is, because absolutely not. Again, let's get back to the foundation of what it means to be a human. Anytime you do physical activity, you are incurring fatigue. Any type of activity. I'm not saying you don't feel good afterwards. You have endorphins and stuff and oxygen and, you feel good, blood pumping and a lot of blood in your brain and your muscles, and you just feel good. If you go for a walk, you're incurring fatigue. Your body has to repair from that. It's not really taxing. So if you take a walk down to the mailbox, I mean, if you're morbidly obese, that can be, but let's talk about for the average person that exercises. If you walk down the street or walk to your mailbox, you're just managing that in real time. It's not, oh my God, I'm so fatigued, I have to recover from my walk to the mailbox. But then think about you walk to the end of the street. Not super taxing. You could walk to the end of the street. Okay, fine. Let's say you walk 5 miles. Now you're talking. Is it during the summer? I'm just saying, let me give you the example, right? 5 miles, even if you walk a lot, you walked a lot. You went for a long walk. You're going to need more recovery to sit down and, it was hot, and hydrate and kind of relax. You walk 10 miles, you're going to get blisters. I mean, you might get that with 5 miles, but 20 miles, 50 miles, 100 miles. Okay, so walking is great. Get your 5,000 steps, get your 10,000 steps. Okay, well, think about your fatigue. What about 50,000 steps? What about 100,000 steps? You go walk 20 miles, you're going to be fucking wiped out, right? So is it the exercise? It's the intensity and the duration of the activity. So if you're doing any kind of cardio, fatigue, yoga, fatigue, like physical movement, and, for most types of yoga, yin, not as much, but it's still mental focus. It's still time out of your day. It's just energy. You're using human energy, using calories. You're alive. Weights, endurance. In other words, you want to provide your body a stimulus, and you really have to pick what your adaptations are. If you want to put on muscle, you really should focus. Everything should revolve around building muscle. I'm not saying neglect cardiovascular training, but you have to be mindful how that integrates with your weight training to build muscle. If you're prioritizing endurance training because you like doing those activities, you should still be lifting weights, but now you have to create a balance and not overstress your body with weights because you're prioritizing a different activity. So what are you trying to optimize for? Longevity? You're trying to optimize for being strong and having muscle mass in the future. You want to have mobility. So you're going to have to implement those types of adaptations, and you can only do so much because you don't want to do the whole jack of all trades, master of none. The more focus you have and the more specificity you have in your program, the more all in you are, the more benefits you're going to get for that specific outcome. And I'm not saying you can't do cardiovascular activity. You can go for a walk. You can do some interval cardio with your programming. You can go in the sauna, but just understand that all of this expenditure is fatigue. So you have to make sure that you're giving yourself enough time to be able to execute this again. So all of this is fatigue. All of this is going to wear you down, some more than others. So if you're doing cardio and then yoga and then weights, and you're going to maybe make some benefits in different areas, but you're just going to be wiped out and you're not really going to see optimal progress in any one of those things. All right, Dave on the wave. Papa Swole, I need a gym planning for losing fat and getting stronger. Well, join us over at swolenormousx.com and start lifting weights. Start eating real food. 6.7. 23, Papa Swole, how much sleep do you get a night? How much sleep do I get a night? I don't measure it. I don't use an Oura ring or a Whoop strap or anything. I might try one of those things in the future. I've done it before. Wasn't really a fan of the Whoop strap. I don't like something on my wrist, so maybe the ring one is a better option. Anyway, if you guys use that, you could drop in the comments. I just like to sleep and then I wake up. So I really try to go to sleep earlier, but I really want to wake up naturally. Like I really aim to do that, to get enough sleep. So when I wake up, I'm up early enough for the tasks I need to do. And I set my life up that way. So that's one of the benefits of doing your own thing, is the ability to customize your life. And if that's your goal, I mean, a lot of people customize their life and they're running around and they're spread thin, but that's how they customize their life. Anyway, so I would say about, I'm not sure what time I woke up today. I would say probably because being in bed, just because you're in bed doesn't mean you're sleeping the whole time. And what kind of deep sleep, that's when those rings and those metric things give you a little bit more feedback, because just what time you go to sleep and then how long you're actually asleep. If you're reading a little bit, if you wake up in the middle of the night, I would say at least 7 hours. I might be in bed for 8 to 9 hours, but I'm not saying I have like 100% sleep score or something like that. I'm just, if you're in bed, but I might read for a couple minutes. I read, and I'm reading one of my science fiction books, and then I start thinking about something, or I read, and then all of a sudden when I stop, I read like a page or two, and then it just kind of, the words become a little bit blurry, and then I forget what I'm reading, and then I'm like, I don't care what happens right now, and I just turn it off. I like a red screen Kindle, and it's like, I like to read, but with a big red light and then a book, it's just a little bit less convenient. So I try to mitigate like an LED screen, but I'm out really quick. Because it's like, we have like red film paper over it, make it really dim, so it's kind of hard to see, and then my eyes just kind of like, oh, I'm out. But you definitely want to be getting as much sleep as possible. And I don't know if there's really an exact number, but more people need more sleep than they think. You need more sleep than you think. And if you read more during the day, reading, it's also about your mental health and your brain. It's not always about sleep. It's about relaxing and reducing cortisol and reducing stress in your brain. And this is why reading is important. When you're on your phone, you're getting flashes of things that are changing all the time and giving you information. Think about this. Think about this. Look at this. You got this alert. Hey, someone's texting you. This person wants to know this. This person wants to know that. Hey, check out your email. Wow, boom, boom. 50% off this, 20% off this. Hey, sales ending soon. Here's another bill. Oh, you paid this. This has been debited from your account for a power bill. Hey, you're being charged for cable for 100. You're just being told what to think about. When you're reading a book, it's meditative. So with mindfulness meditation, what we do inside Brain Gains, it's focusing on your breath. Sometimes, we do some like walkthroughs, think about this, listen to the sounds. That's mindfulness. You're focusing on specific things, because then your brain always is going to pop things in. You have to be able to be like, I don't need to think about that right now, and focus on the one thing. When you're reading, you're focusing on the one thing you're reading. But it's contextual. It's part of that story. It's part of that narrative. It's not random and jumping around. It's creating that kind of like beginning, middle, and end context feedback loop, not just random flashes like a TV flashing. So you're thinking about the one thing reading a book, and that's meditative. You're not focusing on your breath. You're focusing on the words. You're focusing on the story. You're hearing it in your head. That is literally very peaceful and calming. So reading more often, you don't always have to go to bed, but read. Look forward to it. Read a book that takes your mind and focuses. That's why I like science fiction. I like fiction at night, because if it's something specific or something that I'm really interested in, too analytical, too cerebral, it can just engage me too much. But that's why science fiction is engaging, because it's psychological. There's political elements, different things you read. There's philosophy and all this different stuff that's woven into these stories. But it's also not current real life. So it takes you into another place and you just kind of get lost there and go into, it's a perfect segue into like a dream world. But during the day, I mean, that's why the benefit is read anything. Just read. Read. Okay, we'll take maybe one or two. Shivansh Verma 1. Papa Swole, I have a lot of stretch marks. They are good or bad? They're not good or bad. People don't like the visual markers. I have some stretch marks. Most people do, whether you had them for pregnancy or your breast grew when you're hitting puberty. Some of us have stretch marks on our cocks, but you know.
Because.
You know. People get that. People get stretch marks when they build muscle, armpits, thighs, glutes. Everyone's different. I say pregnancy. So a lot of people have different reasons. But you can reduce or heal them. It's like vitamin E oil and cocoa butter and tallow and stuff like that is really good. If you want to try to decrease the visual blemishes, whether or not you can reduce them completely, but people have them for different reasons. But they don't affect your health or anything. It's not like you have stretch marks and you're going to get like stretch mark cancer or something like that. Mimi Strawberry, Papa Swolio, how did you get rid of sugar addiction? How can I stop eating my emotions, although I did therapy? How did I get rid of sugar addiction? I don't think I did. I don't think I had a sugar addiction. I used to eat Sour Patch Kids, but I wouldn't call it a sugar addiction. I would call it something else. I wouldn't say that's a sugar addiction. I don't think that term is beneficial because I eat sugar. I woke up this morning. I had like 3 fresh mangoes from the tree. So I'm just saying I mean, look, a sugar addiction makes it seem like sugar is bad and they have to avoid all sugar. And then people stop eating fruit and they stop eating, some of nature's finest foods. It's really all in context. So in terms of Sour Patch Kids, that's not sugar. That was ultra chemical trash. Lots of food colorings, high fructose corn syrup, whatever else is in them. I don't know if they change their formulations, but you guys know it's literally, there's nothing real. There's nothing in Sour Patch. There's nothing redeeming, nothing beneficial about eating Sour Patch Kids. If I want something sour, I'll just eat a kiwi. Eat a grape. Have a mango, have some pineapple. You don't need Sour Patch Kids. Just eat a fucking piece of fruit. People demonize eating fruit. I don't want to eat all that sugar. And they eat candy. What the fuck are you talking about? Or they eat bread. What do you, just eating it in a different form. So it's processed sugars. It's high fructose corn syrup, which is not sugar. It's literally ultra processed garbage. Go watch King Corn. It's an old documentary. Old. It's like probably 2007. It's about how you make high fructose corn syrup. It's disgusting. It's absolute industrial sludge. Go watch how these guys made high fructose corn syrup in their kitchen. It's disgusting. You're going to vomit. Good documentary. It's on Netflix. King Corn. That's an old one. I think it's 2007. People have been making videos and content about this for a long time. We've talked about it before. So how can I stop eating my emotions, although I did therapy? Well, therapy didn't work. And I think it's also probably it's definitely your habits. Of course, it's your habits. It's what you subject yourself to. It's you labeling yourself having a sugar addiction and that you are someone that needs therapy, that you're a victim mindset. These are just things that I'm going to observe, because what happens with therapy is that you get labeled with these conditions and you have this and I suffer from this and this is part of your identity. You have to stop telling yourself that story. You have to fix your habits. The people you spend time with, what foods you have in your surroundings, getting to the root cause of like being a human being, changing your habits, changing your environment. Like all these things are so important. This is why when people they go to rehab and they have all these things and they go through and they get quote unquote clean, they go right back to their shitty neighborhood, their shitty environment, their shitty friends, and they relapse because your environment is everything. Your environment is your people in your house. If you're alone, if you're not alone, what you have in your fridge, the people you spend time with, your work environment, your social environment, all these things. That's really the biggest concern. And unfortunately, that is correct in many cases. Mark says therapy doesn't usually fix things, it's dwelling in the past. It's really about what you do with the information. A lot of times people just want someone to talk to, but you could do your own therapy. Bottom line, life goes on. Whatever you tell yourself about the past is your story. No one remembers your past but you. That's how you're framing it. So you are creating your own past. No one else knows your past. Your own first person perception of what happened behind you. Everyone else remembers their own perspective. No one remembers what you remember. Right? Think about that. No one remembers what you remember. So I'm not saying lie to yourself. Whether you want to forgive yourself, okay, but like the story you tell yourself about what happened, that's what's holding you back. So change the story, change the narrative. I'm not saying lie to yourself and change the facts and be delusional, but you need to reframe the story you tell yourself. Like it doesn't matter. Just like Rafiki from Lion King, the circle of lift. It doesn't matter. It's in the past. It's true. It's in the past. It doesn't exist. The only thing that exists is now. This is why lifting and training, and again, it comes back to this, and you're going to have people that listen to this or don't. I'll let you guys listening to this, you get it. But you tell other people, oh, you're depressed? Go to the fucking gym. Well, going to the gym doesn't fix everything. Of course it doesn't fix everything, but it fixes a lot. It gives you control. It gives you success. It gives you a locus of control in your life. And a lot of times depression is not feeling in control. So get control. You're not controlling things in your life. People are telling you what to do, when to get up, when to go to sleep. Control. That's why that discipline, that's why going to the gym, control what you're doing to yourself. You're taking control of your life. I'm doing this to myself for me. You're doing it yourself. You're taking control. You're making the choices what to eat. You're making the choices how to move your body. You're making the choice about when you go to sleep. You're making the choice. You have to make the choice about what you prioritize. And you're going to feel a lot better about other things in your life when you take control of your life. And when you realize how little you have control of, it's not that you can't take more control, but you have to. There's only so many things you can control. And people don't control the basics. They just eat wherever they're at. They just eat whatever someone tells them to eat. Oh, we're selling this. Okay, I guess I'll eat that. Oh, I'll eat this. Oh, someone else is eating this. Hey, we're going here. Okay, I guess I'll eat there. You're just following other people and just doing what other people are doing. You're a drone. Take control. Make your own food choices. Make your own food. Go to the fucking gym. Get sleep. Meditate. Practice yoga. Drink your electrolytes. Everyone else is drinking beer. It's like, well, put a scoop of electrolytes in there. Drink some vegan tears. Get your ass in fucking gear. Get yourself in order. There's your therapy. Go to the fucking gym. Now, thanks for the question, but seriously, don't frame yourself. Therapy produces and perpetuates victim mindsets for a lot of people. You pay, your insurance covers it, or it feels good to have someone that talks to you. Well, you're paying them, so they're going to listen to what you have to say. But unfortunately, there are good therapists out. There are good therapists that help you. They're there to not be they're there to get you out of their purview. There are therapists out there that give you the tools and then you don't need me anymore. Go do this thing. But there are people that just perpetuate and perpetually keep clients, and it's just commiserating and labeling and talking about your fucking feelings rather than looking at reality. Life goes on. Papa Swole passed, like life goes on. We got 2 other dogs. Dogs are going to get older. They're going to die. Humans are going to die. Your parents are going to die. Everyone's going to die. So it's like things happen in life. Get over it. I'm not saying it's easy, but life goes on until it doesn't go on anymore. And this is what happens. This is just what happens in life. And life can come at you quick and bad things can happen, but it's like, it still moves on. You gotta learn how to move through it. This is why being super consistent with this kind of stuff will keep you centered. When shit goes sideways, if you have these habits forged and you take control of what you can control your life, you will keep control of your life. You keep control of yourself. And that's what training does. It keeps you anchored. You eat these foods because they're the best foods for you, and that's why you're eating them, period. You go to the fucking gym, you train hard because that's what you do. Things happen, good, bad, like you still have to get it done. Life goes on. And you still do those things, and it keeps you moving. Because sometimes in life, the only thing that you can do is just like, I need to take another step. Well, that's what it is. You got to take another step. And the only thing that helps things get better is time, really. Good stuff. Yoga with Iris. Yoga with Iris. Papa Soy, do you recommend any supplements for energy, focus, and mood support? Yes, but I think also people need to look at sleep as a supplement. These are things in your life, like one of the 7 pillars is recovery. So sleep, sunlight, quality food, training, all these things very important. So early morning sun, quality sleep, absolutely essential. Great supplements if you're not getting enough sun, vitamin D, magnesium. I like magnesium glycinate. Start lower, start smaller, more frequent, and then increase as needed. Creatine, fantastic. I've been taking 10 to 20 grams a day. I feel great. I've upped it as I've learned more and more about the cognitive benefits, and I feel great. So I've taken more. I drink plenty of water. I feel fine. I'm not losing my fucking hair. It's not a steroid. For fuck's sake. So I would say that some of the foundations are going to be creatine, magnesium, and vitamin D. Really foundational supplements. You take vitamin D with K2 and get one of those combinations and stuff and all that good stuff. But you're also getting these things like in grass-fed beef and blah, blah, blah. Steak, by the way, think about it. This is why people are so afraid of the sunlight or going outside. It blows my fucking mind. Meat is just light. Meat is chewable light. So you have cows and they're eating grass. Well, the grass grows photosynthesis. The sun, the water, the grass grows. The cows eat the grass. We eat the cow. You're just eating chewy, delicious, succulent light. You're eating light. You're eating light. It's awesome. You're eating light that's converted into the most delicious and nutrient-dense food. Hunter Snar. Papa Soy, what are some really good workouts for targeting upper and middle chest? Well, there's only 2 parts of the chest. I guess you could break down every angle of every fiber, but in general, I guess you have upper, middle, and lower, but you really have sternal. I think you have some costal pec, but essentially sternal and then clavicular. So if you want to hit the upper chest, you need a lot of shoulder flexion. Shoulder flexion means this, like a front raise. So there's a couple things you can do. Yes, you could do an incline press or more of a flat press, but keep your elbows more tucked in by your sides. So you're getting more shoulder flexion. So either an incline press, like a neutral grip incline press is one of the best movements because you're getting shoulder flexion and you're getting that adduction. So you want humeral adduction. You also want shoulder flexion for the upper chest and also upper pec flies, like kind of doing like a front raise with some adduction is going to get the upper pec really good too. And you'll get some upper pec when you do like a flat pec deck machine or like a flat press with your elbows more tucked in. Some chest machines have like a neutral grip. That's better for hitting the upper chest because of the angle of the shoulder. Doesn't mean that if you go a little bit more flared, you won't get upper chest. You'll just get a little bit more sternal pec. So the chest does 2 things. Essentially, you're getting adduction and you're getting shoulder flexion. So the sternal pec will do more humeral adduction, horizontal adduction, and then the upper pec is going to do more. If you want to hit the upper pec, you want to get more of the adduction with the shoulder flexion. So even doing like an incline, like a high incline shoulder press with your elbows more tucked in is going to hit more upper chest. So that's a great way to do it. I have a shoulder press machine that has a grip here and a grip here, and it's a shoulder press. I just lean back a little bit and it makes it a great upper chest exercise. So if you have a shoulder press machine where you can go wide, you can go external rotated, and you go more abducted with the shoulders, and you're going here, it's going to be less upper chest and more anterior and middle delt. And then if you come in a little bit more, you'll get more anterior deltoid, but it'll be more upper chest. All right. Let's see what we got here. Should we go balls deep? Let's go balls deep. We got this? That's deep. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got in the folder today. Let's have some fun. Let's kick it back. We'll do a throwback. Let's see if we got a short one. Any appetizers today? This one's short. Wow, that is an absolute...
That's a huge bitch.
There's a tank right there. All right, let's do this one. This one's called Fat Phobia Airplanes. This is the airplane fat chick. Woo! Huge!
Travelers, of course we think about if we need a second seat before we book a flight.
We're plus-size travelers. Of course we ask for the seatbelt extender as soon as we board the flight.
We're plus-size travelers. Of course we get dirty looks anytime we're traveling.
We're plus-size travelers. Of course we're expected to pay more just to travel comfortably.
We're plus-size travelers. Of course we check to see if there's a customer size policy before booking.
We're plus-size travelers. Of course society doesn't believe we deserve to travel.
We're plus-size travelers. Of course we can't use the tray table on a plane.
We're plus-size travelers. Of course we can't use the airplane lavatory comfortably.
If you have issues with chairs having seats, armchairs on a plane, you're flying through the sky. If you take up more than one seat, you got to pay for 2 seats. It's ridiculous. If you have 2 people flying and they take up 2 seats, 2 people, 2 seats, you have to pay for the space. You have to pay for the seat. And if you take up 2 of them, if you're encroaching in someone else's seat, you got to pay. You got to pay for that seat. You got to pay for 2 seats. If you're that fucking fat, you're taking up an entire side of a plane. Maybe one person's sitting aisle, the other person's sitting by the window, no one's in the middle seat. Having someone sit in the middle seat, that's gross. No one wants to have your fucking fat all over their body. Come on. If getting on an airplane or sitting in a booth at a restaurant or a chair that has arms, if that's a limiting factor for you, change your habits. That's just gross. It's gross. Making someone else deal with that shit. This one's called reparations. Oh boy. Oh boy.
What's in the box?
Reparations, fam. Reparations.
Until I get my reparations, I'm done caring about anybody else's issues, y'all. I'm sorry, I don't care about nothing anybody else got going on because y'all don't care about me getting reparations, so why the fuck should I give a fuck about y'all problems? I don't care no more.
I'm going to pause it. Why should this person get reparations? Was she a slave? You weren't a slave. You were born with more melanin. That has nothing to do with you. Why should I give you money?
I really don't. Until things are made right, I do not care about what y'all got going on.
What about, I don't know, do I get to go through history and anytime someone with my melanin concentration got murdered, do I get reparations for, what are you talking about? This is ridiculous. Life goes on. You have your own created problems. Yuck.
At all.
These people are just fucking lazy. They're fucking lazy. They want free money. Oh, you want free money? You don't get free money. Actually, you probably already do get free money. But, well, there's your reparations right there. You're getting free shit for doing nothing, providing no value.
I don't believe you people.
You know?
What do you mean, you people?
Okay, whatever. You're not getting them. Get over it. One more, body hierarchy. Oof.
What's in the box?
Oof. This is a tall order.
This one infuriates me and it breaks my heart. It's fat phobia mixed with sexism, colorism, white beauty standards, and age. Body hierarchy bias. Body hierarchy bias. Whose bodies are most important? And it's not just fat phobia. It's why a fat, dark-skinned, older woman is mocked while a light-skinned or white, thin, young woman is heard somewhat. It's why big bodies are viewed as unprofessional and unhealthy, and curvy bodies only get love if they're the right kind of curvy in the right kind of skin. And this bias, of course, shows up in who gets hired, who's desired, who's promoted, but the one for me is who gets ignored at the doctor's office. Who comes in with real medical issues, and because they are fat, because they are dark, because they are older, because they are women, they are not listened to, they are dismissed, and their weight becomes the fixation of medical care. And it impacts your mental health, the quality and effectiveness of your health care, and your general quality of life. Some of our aunties, our mothers, our friends, us as we age are going to experience this horrible, disgusting, painful thing of body hierarchy bias. Name a thing, a thing.
Name a thing, a thing. Body hierarchy bias. So, in the example of this retard speaking, the shame is on the medical provider that points out that a morbidly obese person has shitty fucking health. No one has ever been healthy and is morbidly obese. There's an issue there. There's a problem. There's something that is going wrong, and your body is showing the problem. Your body is manifesting the issue. That's why you're at the doctor's office. That's why they're pointing it out. That's why they're making the observation. Oh man, you're 3 times the size of a normal human being. This must mean you're healthy. Okay. You stepped on the scale and it said, ouch. Oh, you're perfect. You're beautiful just the way you are. Don't worry about that diabetes. Couldn't have anything to do with your habits. It could not. No siree. No siree. Time for a throwback and then we'll do overtime. So let's do this. You guys can start heading over into the Daily Swole Telegram chat. It's pinned to the top of the Swole Fam Telegram chat. And we'll have the overtime segment right at the end of today's show. It's now streaming over there in the Telegram chat. Here we go. Throwback time.
Fat girl, move along. This is the 3rd doctor in a row to tell me that I'm obnoxiously healthy.
No kidding. You're not obnoxiously healthy. You're obnoxious and you are morbidly obese.
I started going to the doctor consistently 2 years ago because I was trying to solve a problem that didn't need to be solved.
If you're going to the doctor consistently, you have major fucking problems. If you're healthy, there's no need to be going to the doctor even rarely.
I was like, why am I fat? Why do I work out and I'm still fat? Like, I don't get it. Like, what's wrong with me? I must be unhealthy. So I pressed my doctor. I said,
good at it. Jesus Christ. All right, let's go into overtime. Mark said no card today. No, it's execute more. The card fell on the ground, so we're going to give it away in the overtime segment. So a little bit of a different flow today. If you want to win today's Swole card, well, I will pick one lucky commenter in the Swole fam, and I will give it away in overtime this week. So the card is execute more for one of you lucky beaches in the Daily Swole Telegram chat. So I realized I did not hold that up, and it's over there on the ground, so it's fine. Execute more. Head on over to the Daily Swole Telegram chat. We start in 2 minutes, and we will give away the Swole card in the Telegram. We got brand new balls deep edits. We got some throwback DWG. It's going to be a nice day to reminisce. We'll see you over there. So overtime starts right now. Thank you for being here, Beasley. Appreciate y'all. And we'll have Swolosophy episodes over on the weekend. So make sure you subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Make sure you leave a comment. A lot of you have been loving those Swolosophy episodes, so appreciate you. And we'll start overtime in 2 minutes. And thank you for being here. Peace, McGee's, Deuce Magoose, your boy, Papa Swolio. Out. Overtime.
I just wanna win on the low, like